Ladies and gents, welcome to UX, and this is Elin review. Taxation not optional. This is what on SsethTzeentach. When is taxation ever optional? I mean, if you can tax it, you will. Or at least that's how governments work. Yeah, okay, this is the latest, not latest, like from last year, but yeah, latest enough, 2024 game apparently. And SsethTzeentach, is this gonna be like a roguelike game or something? We can see it in the background. Simpsons characters are involved, why the fuck not? It's gonna be interesting. Let's do this one.
Seth here. I broke my microphone again. These lines come directly from a $10 webcam. Elin has reached early access. This is the equivalent of the CIA putting crack in black neighborhoods, but for the neurodivergent community. Elin is a game where I imprison the elderly, turn them into livestock, and have them lay eggs to make a new generation of senior citizen. Naturally, every grandpa starts off as a baby, needs to be breastfed by other grandpas until they come of age, and fed a staple diet of pastured hay to grow old and brittle. At which point, I mount them to a wheel of pain to generate electricity, so I can power my lights and watch Sailor Moon. I have a lack of beds, so there's a tower of pensioners stacked on top of each other every night. Each day, my population explodes, as a hot spring incubates faster than an actual womb, and each day it contracts, as I put a for sale sticker on Grandpa's forehead. Legally, I have a license. Morally, I pay the church. In the same fashion as Bill Gates tortures his body double every day to evade karma, as long as I buy a letter of indulgence, I can sell 20 pensioners and still work off my karma.
Yeah, this game's like you have a slaver's license, and there you go. Like SsethTzeentach, that's all I needed. That's all I needed. There you go.
Debt. I'm an upstanding citizen. They are untouchables, and I will not reincarnate into a water bug. But first, a message from our sponsor. At Raytheon, we don't just build missiles. We build memories. At Raytheon, we don't just neutralize civilians. We vaporize them. Raytheon. Because it's not just a forever war. It's a forever family. As the successor to Eloda, which I reviewed over 7 years ago, Elin is a
Yeah, that is the video I think got restricted really heavily by YouTube. Like, how dare you even make this video type of way? Yeah, you need to be like signed in and everything, 18 plus age restricted. I'm pretty sure that's the one. I don't know. Wait, I was seriously, for a second, I'm like, wait a minute, Raytheon sponsored this? And I was just looking at the description, but no, it's a joke.
Sandbox adventure like no other. Build a base. Open your mailbox. Receive spam in the form of a suicide bomber. Cultivate 3 billion crop strains for testosterone. Open a tourist trap and scam them for terrible prices. Deliver vomit and feces for children's birthdays. Poison unsuspecting townsfolk. Get engaged to your child bride. Send her to be stoned at the gallows. Pickpocket her engagement ring. Marry a slime instead. Play music. Get shot dead because they didn't like your performance. Bake bread by nuking raw flour. Wish for a Glock 17. Receive a railgun. Read Goblin Smut to learn their weakness. Throw your smut in the trash can and make the trash pregnant. Punch a hermit crab for so long it levels up. Enjoy hallucinations. Get cursed. Realize the cursed item you're wearing is made of food and eat it directly from your body. Get jumped by a pack of cows. Comply with their demands and brush their fur. Capture a bomb rock and host it as a parasite. Use its suicide attack to strip mine dungeons. Buy a tent. Use a paper material hammer to turn it into a portable pocket plane. Worship every...
What the fuck was that? Okay, tent became a house. Okay, NPCs getting leveled up in this game. Like, I get it, like, a lot of game has that. But this game feels like to me somebody made it and they created so many elements. And rather than script-wise locking them, like, okay, a certain thing doesn't make sense. They didn't do that. So all the weird shit are happening together. There is like a scripting, RPG elements that just happen. And this is a different type of random shit that can happen. I guess more developers should do that because that just creates this kind of a weird scenario where like, okay, why the fuck is that happening? That shouldn't happen. But why the fuck not? Screw it. So yeah, sometimes indie games are fun that way.
Every god. Receive their apostles and artifacts. Abandon every single one of them. Roll a succubus and prostitution max your way to insane stats. Murder someone's son in cold blood. Bake their meat into a rotisserie chicken. Shit out a dream larva and blend it into the food. Feed it to their parent and make them fall in love with you. Make everyone love you so hard you recruit the entire city. Turn the king into a broomstick and ride him as he calls me a fat ass and tells me to lose weight. Whip him until he turns to prostitution. Some may describe Elin as a bizarre Japanese fantasy, where you enact outlandish policies such as human rights, or a mandate for everyone to wear panties. But that's not fully accurate. It's about paying tax. The karmic weight of missing my monthly tax deadline is 40 times more serious than unloading an assault rifle on a homeless beggar. This is a fantasy, funded by the IRS and TurboTax. On being asked his intentions for the game, Noah, the developer, had this to say. I simulate Tokyo Salaryman. You make no money because everybody live to 110 year old. And then you take your own life. Game costs $20, real good. Game costs $20, real good. You could be a chaos gene stealer with more hands than limbs. We don't care. Pay the state or suffer the consequences. This game's entire premise is about you getting suckered into owning land by 2 contract killers. Then sucker someone else into 20 million in debt for that same property. There's intrigue, politics, and lore, which you can ignore entirely as you read everyone's death log, which moves very quickly and contains a lot of slurs. Most of them from me, but I prefer this multiplayer, as taking the Moongate to visit a random Japanese base will instantly depress I see his beautiful creation and compare it to my own O-block ghetto favela. You can even put custom sprites. Half the time, this is animated smut. This is preferable to getting one-shot by a death trap the instant you spawn in, or seeing a Boeing 767 approaching 2 skyscrapers, or loading into Outer Epstein, which has a one-tile entrance that takes off your clothes. Players will see their options for a pet, and most will pick the little girl. But if I throw a hormone drug in her face, she becomes a little boy. This presents the duality of a player base, pedophile or pederast. Look, this is a setting where the surface went extinct and got repopulated by a cosmic mushroom, whose only reference point for how biology works is Japanese Daojins. That's why everyone lays eggs, because he didn't know any better. Everything is an opaque, esoteric mechanism with poor documentation, which the community abuses and exploits until Noah figures out a hotfix or workaround for their shenanigans. This is ignoring the fact—
See, that is what I said. Like, they created so many functions, and like, I guess they didn't have manpower to go through all like functions, how to lock them. Like, if you create like many elements and don't lock them with each other, like this scripting makes sense with this one. If you don't do that, like there's like anything can happen, right? And randomness becomes a factor. To me, it's more even fun, like when that shit happens. This is awesome. But yeah, like, yeah, they're gonna patch it the more they realize it. I guess if it's game breaking, like, sure, they have to patch it. But yeah, it just makes it more random and fun.
that half a game is designed to troll you. Tick an innocent menu option to auto pick up fish. Die instantly because you picked up a whale. Drink from a water source. Mutate horrifically. Play on permadeath. Slip on a banana peel in the Village of Atonement and lose everything. Get AIDS. Catching ether disease is a natural part of gameplay and progresses if left untreated. How do you do that? By playing basketball. To cure your magically inflicted AIDS, you must become Michael Jordan. The casino chips you earn can then be used for higher stakes gambling. This game is a constant gaslight. I came into this expecting fun. Now I'm paying tax and addicted to slot machines. I hope you didn't take an oath before starting your character, because the blackjack table is rigged. Save scum your way to the cure and live life as normal. There are alternatives, but that requires kidnapping little girls. Memes aside, what is this? It's single-player RuneScape with no level cap, and a crafting system that lets you recreate nearly everything you see. Towns, winter hot springs, beach resorts. You can even walk off a shore and build underwater. Everything builds into something, which can be dismantled to make everything else. Material alchemy is an art form, which lets us mine out entire dungeons and turn copper to cocaine. Nothing I say is an embellishment. I throw alcohol at my blue eyes white dragon, have sex with it, and end my turn. Understanding esoteric systems by absorbing every wiki article is the bulk of your experience. You don't have to know Japanese, but they're more informative than the porn-sick groomers that make up this game's English community, which is why they're partitioned away in an apartheid state. First starting off, any race or class is viable, and the possibilities are endless.
You're a fat, ugly Polish whore, or you're, I don't know, Jewish person, you're a black person, you're a rapist.
A Wraith Executioner can use mana as a second health bar. Combine this with worshipping Itzpalt or Hiromi, and you have an infinite health bar. Chaos Shape Inquisitor lets you save scum for hours, and ask if it's truly worth it, as you enter the void and get soundballed repeatedly. Or, if you're a masochist, you can pick Snail Tourist and put on permadeath. Everything now costs twice as much, but the trade-off is that salt kills you. My Jury Warrior isn't meta. Her perk is garbage, and ultimately it doesn't matter, because I bring a small army wherever I go. Do not feel limited by your choices. With enough investment, you can make anything work. Your objective is always the same. Get stronger by getting richer.
Okay, sometimes I'm very envious of people like SsethTzeentach. Because this game feels like so much combination of things you have to do. So he made this review playing all this shit. How many time did he spend doing this? I get it that this is his job and things. But even if I have time nowadays, I can't find myself playing even the like mainstream games. He actually finds this game, sees all this combination, dissect these things, play different play styles with combination, figure shit out. Like I was a kid, like I used to do that a lot. Like I used to play a game, but right now, like I don't know. But yeah, this feels like Space Station 13 type thing, right? Like you can do many shits. There's many RPG elements. You can craft a lot of things, right? Like this kind of feels like that.
So you can get even stronger to get even richer. Material capital will fuel your physical sociopathy. There's an infinite number of ways to do this, and these are simply suggestions. Invite residents to work your land and perform jobs and hobbies, such as gaming, gambling, gacha, prostitution, and self-harm. Set up delegated farming and automate crop rotations for passive income. Grow honey, turn it into wine. Grow mushrooms, turn it into wine. Catch fish, turn it into wine. Get paid a salary because people want to visit. Not for my impressive displays, but because I've stolen incredibly expensive panties from different NPCs. The main way of getting stats is eating food. Thus, our only obstacle is our stomach. So, we apply the secret teenage girl technique of vomit maxing. We eat, we throw up, and then we eat even more, as we watch our maid pick up vomit like the peasant she is. It's hard to gauge these values. Luckily, there's a variety of graphical and gameplay mods to augment your experience. Automate tasks, and replace sprites with the horniest coombait you've ever seen. Empreg Scott the Woz milking machine? Sign me up. On top of this, the game itself has a lot of quality of life convenience. You can auto-dump your entire inventory, configure resource distributions, and even just Ctrl F to search for anything on the map. Everything is completely customizable. In my case, I've got
all of that. Like this game, like I said, like the developers didn't have enough manpower to see all the scripting and didn't like apply things, so it's very random. But at the same time, they did certain shit that even mainstream games don't have. Like, like better UI, ease of access, just searching shit. Because I remember like playing even like AA games. Sometimes I'm like, oh, fuck me now. Inventory management is going to be like real pain. Like you have to sometimes just do things one by one. Like, why is this not easy? And then you have to look for some mods and it just becomes a thing. I like how they just basically added that in the game.
Gone off a deep end and could no longer see what I'm doing. This is a game of problems and solutions, and dealing with the problems you cause along the way. Mass monsters are a special creature that multiply upon taking damage. There's a spawn limit of 20 monsters entering your base at any time. Taming a mass monster, putting it on the gallows, and sealing its offspring on a set of tiles 10 Z levels higher seemed like a great idea. Until I visited my base again, only to find out everyone is dead. It turns out 2 of my NPCs are coded to teleport directly to enemies, causing them to split and spill into the base, where everyone is too weak to one-shot them. So they infinitely replicate until they fill the entire screen. Conversely, the final boss is too hard for me to kill by pure chance.
Imagine that shit. He's like, oh, this is fine, and just fucked off to do something else. Came back and like, what the fuck just happened? Why are there so many of them here? And seeing everyone's dead.
I loaded into some Japanese guy's base, which had residents who were level 250,000. They're so high level, they take 30 steps for each of mine, which they spent on gambling, drinking, vomiting, and passing out at high velocity. I fed them aphrodisiacs, and one of them laid an egg. Microwaving an egg has a chance of exploding, which is incredibly funny in the middle of an orphanage. Explosion strength is tied to quality, and this one is 2,773. I heat the egg, and one-shot Inos, my party, and myself. This might seem ridiculous, but the Japanese have already killed him with a beach ball and a banana peel. NPCs hold beach balls in their inventory when thrown at, and this one was modified by several thousand cursed scrolls of flying to weigh 10,000. So, when Inos spawns in and charges, he slips in a banana peel and is crushed to death. But
what the fuck is he with that?
Inos spawns in and charges, he slips in the
died, oh god. Prince of Betrayal. Oh, he fell and died. Whoops. There you go. Heavy ass ball. There you go. No, Prince of Betrayal loses balance and tumbles. This is too fucking good.
A banana peel and is crushed to death. The world is your autism playground. Join all the guilds, learn all the skills, whip pensioners on your cotton plantation. It's your fantasy. Now back to work, Cracker. I'm not here to tell you that unless you've got insanely high taming and throw love potions at a spiral king deep in the void so you can feed that breast milk to a chicken, so you can genetically engineer him into the strongest creature in the game, that you haven't played the game. There's no win condition, only your creativity. So choose a goal, a direction, or a hyperfixation, and the rest is up to you. For as many turbo-level Japanese hypersweats at level 3 billion in the void, there's just as many who haven't even left their own base. So rest assured that no matter where you're at, there's some guy who spent his entire playthrough cultivating mushrooms, who has more money than the entire economy.
I mean, let's be honest. I'm like one of those people, right? Like even playing something like Skyrim or something, I usually never like leave Whiterun until I realize, wait a minute, I've been here for a long time, just doing shit, cutting logs and like bandits and shit like that, trying to just buy a home and God knows what.
In short, I love Elin. It's a very sweet, beautiful, and calming game that I can't help coming back to. The developer doesn't sleep. He pushes a new unstable build every night, and I wish him the very best. There's enough content for several hundred hours.
See, this is the type of game, like if you patch it and like I said, lock script with each other that makes sense, yeah, it's a game. But this randomness, all this chaotic shit, that's what makes it fun.
And it just keeps getting better. I thoroughly recommend it. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. This video is dedicated to my ops, because I had a script ready after 50 hours, until I saw someone write a critical thesis about my Alona video, took it to heart, and played another free 50. It was only later brought to my attention that the man who affected me so is a barely literate weeaboo who paid thousands of dollars for his cringe OC to be put into the game. He did all this so I could turn his waifu into a burger. A warm thanks to the many members of Emergent's guild, generously funded.
I mean, he worked though. You did play for 400 fucking hours. Damn. All right. You know, I like games. This is why like I love like very small games. I'm pretty sure before I watched Seth videos a few years ago, I didn't care about small games. Like I'm like, this is like, why would I? Like you really need to have like really heavy time in your hand if you're gonna play all the mainstream and good games. That's how I thought it. Just to go and like play small ones. Then I realized like Dwarf Fortress, Space Station 13. What is the charm of that? When you're not burdened by a lot of shit, like you can create like really unique things that no games can have. And obviously your imagination and things like that game will become like really awesome. This is basically that. This feels to me like Space Station 13, but at this modern game in this setting. This is so awesome. Like many shit can happen. I think Space Station 13 has like many like things happening in the future type of like scripting, which makes it like really unique in itself. But yeah, something like that. Alright, well, I'll see you next time.